Raven ELYSE TV.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven, and today I am back with a long overdue Accutane update video. And if I sound kind of nasty right now and look even more nasty than usual, it's because I am sick. I thought I had the flu yesterday. I had a fever and everything. Today I don't have a fever, but I am still very congested and just feeling gross, but I still wanted to sit down and film this video because it is long overdue. On my last acne update video, I kind of left you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger because I told you that at my last appointment, my white blood cell levels went down, and that is dangerous and it can be a reason to get off of Accutane. And my dermatologist told me that if my white blood cell levels got any lower, then I would have to stop my Accutane treatment. And that really kind of like, I was shook because I was like, no, I don't want to stop the treatment. I feel like it's working for me. So I just, fingers crossed that either my white blood cell levels will stay where they are or they'll go back up. Long story short, I will spare you guys the details, but I ended up having to reschedule my next appointment like 2 or 3 times because of just like some hoopla. So it got extended and I was just like waiting to see, waiting for my blood work, waiting for my next appointment, and it kept getting pushed out and pushed out and pushed out. So I was just kind of like, okay, I'm still taking the medication. I don't know what my white blood cell levels are doing. And so finally I had my appointment about, I think it was a week ago now. I had my appointment. And yay, she checked my blood work and my white blood cell levels went back up. So that was really good news. She's like, all systems clear, you're good to go. We can keep doing the Accutane and you should be fine. And in terms of my other side effects, when my white blood cell levels were down or whatever, I didn't feel anything. I don't know what the symptoms of that would be, but I didn't feel anything. But what I have been feeling lately in the past month or so is a loss of appetite. Well, actually in the past few days, my appetite kind of came back. Like all of a sudden I got super hungry in the past couple of days. I guess I'm making up for the past couple of weeks when I really had a loss of appetite. Like every single food smelled gross to me and seemed gross. I just didn't want to eat anything. Like even my favorite foods, it was weird. Like it smelled bad, it tasted bad. Like I just didn't want to eat anything, and I definitely wasn't eating like as much as I should, especially with me like trying to gain weight and stuff. Like I wasn't eating. But in the past couple of days, I don't know what happened, but my appetite kind of came back. So I don't know what's up with that, but I did look it up and I did see that loss of appetite or like food aversion or like messing with your sense of smell where things smell weird can be a side effect of taking Accutane. So I don't know if I was starting to get that side effect or what, but that was really annoying because also with my restricted diet that I'm already on, that I started at the beginning of this acne journey, I cut out all these foods from my diet because I got some food allergy tests done, and it was basically decided or recommended that these certain food groups are probably causing your acne. So I was already on this restricted diet where I feel like there's not that many things that I can eat anyway, and then on top of that I had a loss of appetite, so like I just really wasn't eating and that wasn't good. But I don't know, past few days it kind of went away, so I don't know what's up with that. Also, you guys in the last video did say that you were more interested in what exactly I eat and don't eat and why. Just to give you a quick little rundown, I was gonna do like a whole separate video about it, but like I'm no expert and I don't really have like all the details anyway to make like a full dedicated video. I don't want to be putting out like the wrong information, but just to give you guys a quick rundown of my diet, like I just said, I got a food allergy test. I have a whole video about that. I will link it down below. But basically what I found out from my food allergy test is that I definitely need to stay away from dairy. 100% no dairy. The only thing that I do currently cheat on is butter. I do like to cook with butter. I try to keep it to a very, very, very small minimum and use like olive oil or coconut oil whenever I can, but sometimes you just need butter. Like nothing really replaces butter. You know what I mean? I don't know. So that's the one thing that I do cheat on, but all other dairy products, not including eggs, because eggs is not really in the same, it's dairy, but it's not the same thing. So I do still eat eggs, although I haven't really been eating a lot of them lately because I was eating so much of them that I kind of got grossed out by them, and I'm like low-key becoming vegan because things like eggs and meat and other animal products besides dairy are starting to really gross me out. So that's another story. But definitely no dairy, no milk, no cheese, no sour cream, no cream cheese, no ice cream, no nothing with dairy in it. So baked goods like breads that are made with milk, no dairy. No dairy. And since I stopped eating dairy, I became even more sensitive to dairy. So when I tried to cheat and eat some cheese or eat some ice cream or have some hot chocolate that had milk in it, my stomach instantly gets messed up, which that never happened before. I instantly get sick. I instantly start breaking out. So I'm even more sensitive to it now since I cut it out of my diet. So I really cannot be messing with the dairy. That's like the #1 thing. The second thing is gluten. So I have a gluten intolerance. Some people have celiac disease where they're like really intolerant to gluten. It's going to completely F up their stomachs and make them really sick if they eat gluten, which gluten is in like a lot of wheat products. So like bread type of products have gluten in it. For me, I'm not gonna die if I eat gluten. I'm not going to instantly get immediately sick, but I will get a little bit sick. I will get like lethargic and fatigue and just get like this gross feeling, and it will cause my skin to break out. Not as bad as dairy does, but still, like, I need to be staying away from gluten. So I try to buy, you know, all gluten-free products. I can't eat regular bread or regular like flour tortillas or cakes or cupcakes or muffins or anything that may have gluten in it is a no for me. So those are the two main things. The other third thing is sugar. Processed, refined sugar, added sugar. That's pretty much for anyone. A lot of people, you know, if you struggle with acne, you eat a lot of sugary junk food, added sugar type foods, you probably need to cut back on the sugar because it does tend to cause acne and it's not good for you anyway, obviously. So cutting back on sugar. So any type of processed pre-made food that has sugar added into it, even if it's like a fruit cup that has sugar added in, no, that's a no. If I'm making something, cooking something, I don't use brown sugar, regular white sugar. I have like coconut sugar that I'll sometimes use, or like stevia, Splenda type sugar, and just really keeping the sugar to a minimum, period. But I have a really bad sweet tooth, so that's been like really hard for me, and I'm not doing as well with the sugar part, but I try. And then like your water intake, for me, I definitely needed to increase my water intake and decrease on the sweet tea because that's the sugar. I don't really drink soda anyway. I don't really drink a lot of juice, but I drink like sweet tea and lemonade. So I had to really cut back on that and just drink way more water. And yeah, I'm kind of just leaning more towards a gluten-free vegan diet because I'm already dairy-free. I'm already gluten-free. And I already eat, you know, a lot of plant-based foods because of that, but I still eat meat, I still eat eggs because that has nothing to do with my allergies. Me deciding to not eat any animal products, deciding to not eat any meat or seafood, that would just be a personal choice. That would be like for added health benefits on top or for other moral reasons. It wouldn't be for my skin. Some people may say, well, yeah, it probably is going to help your skin too, and that might be true. But for me personally, it would just be like an added thing on top. I don't necessarily feel like I have to stop eating meat. It probably would be good if I do, and I'm kind of starting to get disgusted by meat. I don't know where that came from, but I'm starting to eat less and less meat, and I kind of just eat like really, like I might have a little bit of chicken or some shrimp or like more, how do you say, like more bland meat. Like beef and pork is starting to really gross me out, especially if I see it in its raw state and I see it being cooked or I smell it being cooked. It's just like I'm literally starting to gag thinking about it. So it's same thing with eggs. Eggs have been grossing me out lately too, and I don't know why. But you know, in a couple of months, you might see me basically being a full-blown vegan just because I'm just taking those steps. I'm finding out what does not agree with my body, what causes me to break out, and what grosses me out, and I'm just cutting things out of my diet. But for the acne, it's dairy, it's gluten, and it's sugar. Those are the three main things. Technically, due to my food allergy test, I'm not supposed to be eating grain either, which is like corn, rice, quinoa, everything. So a lot of things that are gluten-free are still made with other types of grains, and I'm still not supposed to be eating that either. So that's basically taking out like all bread products unless it's made from nuts, unless it's made like from all almond flour or something, then I can eat it. But if it's made from rice flour or buckwheat or any other type of grain, even though it might not have gluten in it, it still has grain in it, so I'm still not supposed to be eating that. I haven't really been sticking to that because it's lower on my allergy scale and it's a lot harder to stick to, because like I said, even if you get excited because you find something that says gluten-free, it's not grain-free and you're just like, bruh, there's nothing in here that I can eat. So yeah, I've still been eating like some rice and some other types of grain products, like corn products. So like corn tortillas instead of flour tortillas, you know, at least it's gluten-free. It's not grain-free, but it's gluten-free, so I feel like that's better than nothing. So yeah, that is the main thing when it comes to my diet. So if you see me on Snapchat or on Raven's Ratchet Kitchen and I'm talking about like dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, that's why, because basically I found out that those things have a lot to do with my acne. It's not for losing weight. It's not for, like, I'm not vegan, like for moral reasons, trying to stay away from animal products. You know, I still eat honey and stuff sometimes. So like when it comes to animal products, it's not strict for me. I kind of just pick and choose on that day. Do I want to eat meat today or not? But I definitely can't have dairy. That's the main thing. So yeah, that's basically it when it comes to my diet. It's getting a little bit easier. It gets easier every day the more you get used to it. I do see that if I try to have a cheat day and I try to eat something that I know I'm not supposed to be eating, especially with dairy, like I keep saying, I will pay the consequences almost immediately. I will feel sick and I will break out. So I have been getting some little breakouts. Like I have like this one, this one, this one, and this one that are more fresh, because definitely like when I was traveling, I went on a girls trip to New York, I definitely had stuff that had gluten and dairy in it, and then boom, what do you know, my skin breaks out. Also, another thing that I've been doing really bad with is my Accutane pills themselves. I am ashamed that I have been missing some of my pills just from traveling. I forgot my pills, or I fall asleep at night without remembering to take my nightly pill, or I get up and go in the morning and I forget to take my pill. Whatever happens, like I'm really bad with remembering to take pills, and I can barely swallow a pill in the first place. So it's just like a big thing for me. Lately, I have been missing a lot of my pills, so I feel like that's also kind of working against me. You're not taking your prescription, how is the prescription supposed to work? So that's an obvious thing. That's my fault that I need to really like be completely consistent with. And I think, you know, like I can definitely see a difference on weeks when I'm like, I've been taking my pill consistently, I've been eating good, I haven't been cheating, then boom, like my skin is looking really good, no new breakouts, no nothing. But then like last week when I was like, I went traveling and I didn't take my pill and I ate such and such and such, then boom, I start getting little breakouts. The good news is my skin doesn't freaking explode like it used to. Like in the past, before I started all of this, I would wake up in the morning with like 5 cystic pimples, huge, like it would just be a disgusting, horrible, extreme mess on my face. And I would keep waking up every morning with more and more breakouts, and it would just be out of control. But now I feel like even if I slip up a little bit, it's still under control. I still have the Accutane flowing through my bloodstream, and I'm still mostly on a good diet. So a little slip up isn't going to completely make my face completely break out. It's going to cause a little breakout. Typically they heal very fast and it's over and done with. So that is what I'm really happy about. I do feel like I have some control over my skin. Also, another thing that I have switched up since my last video is I have started to use some more skincare products. When I first started Accutane, I wasn't using any skincare products. My dermatologist told me to keep it very, very simple with my skincare routine. Use plain old Dove soap and use a plain old moisturizer. That's it. No face masks, no spot treatments, no nothing. Because she wanted me to be extremely gentle on my skin because the Accutane was going to freaking dry out my skin and be really harsh on my skin on its own just from the pill. So she didn't want me to be using a bunch of stuff and then basically like burn my face off. Now when I do have those slip ups and I do get those breakouts, I do use some skincare products on my skin. I will occasionally, if it's an emergency, use like a charcoal face mask that like clears out your pores or something. And then I will also use like a hydrating face mask that will really moisturize your skin if I'm having like a super dry skin day. And if I get like a pesky breakout or something, I will use like a spot treatment on it for like one night or something. But definitely it's not like an everyday morning and night using all these products, all these spot treatments, all these face masks. Like it's not like that, like how I normally would. It's definitely like for emergencies only, like when I'm getting a bad breakout because I ate some dairy or whatever. I will use some of my like well-known trusted skincare products that I know work for me, and kind of just use that to keep it at bay, because you can leave it alone and in about 7 days it'll start to go away on its own. But for me, I'm like, I ain't got 7 days to just be sitting here not touching it, waiting for it to go away on its own. I need to use a spot treatment. I need to do something to help speed up the process. Other than that, I do just still stick to my regular plain Dove soap, regular plain Cetaphil moisturizer, and that's usually it, and chapstick. Also really have not been wearing a lot of makeup lately. Just really letting my skin breathe, just keeping it clean and trying to be gentle with it, making sure I'm wearing SPF when I go outside, and just trying to let it heal and do its thing, and make sure I drink water and take my supplements and all that stuff. So just more of the same from my last videos. Like I said, only thing I really wanted to update you guys on is that my white blood cell levels did go back up, so we're good to finish the treatment. And you know, I'm still going on this diet. I might become vegan, and that I do occasionally use some skincare products. But this is my skin, you know. I think compared to my last video, it looks kind of the same. It doesn't look like 10 times better than my last video or anything like that, but I'm glad that it doesn't look 10 times worse. And so this is we're about 2.5 months into it. I started on November 9th. So I think we're about 2.5 months into the whole 5-month process. So we're kind of only halfway through. So I'm hoping for good results, you know, on the second half of taking the prescription. So we'll see. And then we'll see, you know, by the 5th month what else needs to be done. And yeah, that's basically my whole update. I don't have any other side effects to tell you about. I don't have any other crazy amazing things to tell you. I'm still happy with the results so far. I don't regret anything. Only thing I regret is when I have those slip-ups. So I'm gonna be really good about my diet and really good about taking my pills so that we can see full results by the 5th month. And yeah, that's everything. I'll update you guys next month. But for now, make sure you're subscribed to my channel so that you don't miss the next update. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.